We are live for Thought Shifting Thursdays.
Hello.
So listen, how I wanted to, we've talked a few times about prosperity consciousness in our videos and, shared some of our experiences. But, I've got clients right now who are really struggling. So I just want to address that for all the people who are out there who are really struggling financially. Offer some practical tips. And also, how do you maintain a positive consciousness when you are either cutting back or doing the practical things to survive and ultimately thrive in a down economy? So you've got some ideas on this, my beloved.
I come from a very poor or lack of background, and we always had enough, no matter where we've lived, whether we were in Guatemala, whether we were here. Mom always had beans and rice for us.
Mm-hmm.
So my conscience has always been, there is always enough. And when I'm struggling with, and I've been sharing that here, the pivoting process has really helped. Every night I review my day, and some days I actually go down instead of up.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's in measuring one's consciousness.
Measuring my consciousness.
What percentage of time we're focused on what we want and feeling good emotionally compared to what we don't want, and feeling discomfort. Because when we're feeling more in discomfort about something, we're in problem mode. Can't solve the problem at the level of the problem. When we're above 50%, focused on what we want, we're in solution mode. So, and in some, as you said, in some of the past videos, you said I'm at 0% or 3% or something. Yes. And what are you now?
I think the last night was 60%. But I had gone up to 65, and I've gone down to 60 because it's just, if I keep looking at the stock market, if I keep listening to the experts on what's going on.
Well, we got a call from one of our brokers.
And my mind just keeps going, maybe I should get out of the market. Maybe I should invest in something that's not so...
volatile.
Yes. And then, I just go into prayer. I tell myself, and I've been saying that every day, I look at myself and I go, you are a wealthy woman.
Mm-hmm.
You have a home, you have a new car, you have food on your table every day, you're healthy, as healthy as possible. Trying to get better, and what the hell are you complaining about?
Exactly.
And so, I've one of the things is I want a new set of recliners. That's been my number one priority. So I don't get it, and I've been looking. I go to estate sales, I go to garage sales, and I go to Craigslist. I go to all different places to find those. It's got to be a matching set for our bedroom.
And she rarely buys retail. I mean, most of what's in our house.
Rarely. It's almost all the furniture in our house. It's
one person's trash is another person's treasure, right?
Oh my God, the stuff that you can get. It's incredible. People want to get rid of it. They're moving out of state. They're moving.
So this
whatever.
is one practical way, because what
Yes.
you're talking about. Some of what you're talking about. Again, I want to address the people who are really struggling, who don't have a house, who are in an apartment, and a client of mine just had her rent go up 20%.
Buy a house. Save for a house, people.
From about 1,000 to 1,200. So I really wanted to address those people.
Yes.
So, and you had some ideas, but there was something else I wanted to say about what you said. Just the percentage. So you're at 60% now.
Yes.
And that you're considering low. Whereas before it was 3%. So by doing this exercise, your low is 60 times higher than your high.
Yes, and I am feeling better. But I mean, every now and then I get a pit in my stomach. And my brain just starts going and going and going, and I just have to say, shut the hell up. remember what it is that you're doing here and how you can change this, and it really does help. Ah, it really does help to get that out of your head. Journaling works. Listening to podcasts, reading books about educate yourself. I was telling Patrick when my mother first got her first house. The only way that she could do it was by getting a fluctuating rate, a variable rate, and it's great when the rates are down. That's the way she started, and that's the only way that she could get into a house. But her point was, I got to get into a house. That's the only way that I'm going to make money in this, get my wealth up. And when the rates go up, the mortgage goes up. And so then she saw all of that, and she really was struggling. But that was the only way that she could get a house. Kids are living with their parents right now and saving money to put down a deposit for a house. It really is the best way to accumulate wealth in this country, in any country, I think, owning your own house. I was taking a trip with this woman, and we looked at some apartment buildings here in Thousand Oaks, and she said a one-bedroom apartment costs $2,500. That's what we pay for our mortgage, and our taxes are included in there. You got to get into a house because you're just wasting your money in an apartment building.
Whatever way you can.
In whatever way you can, go back to live with one of your relatives. Do whatever you have to do. That is really the one way to accumulate wealth.
Part of that then is, in our country we're just so good at living beyond our means, right?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so used to having these things.
Yes.
And so, hey, my income, because of the economy or whatever, or my investments, is not bringing in as much, and so now
you get into debt.
People start using their credit cards,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And sometimes that's unavoidable, right? And people are doing the best they
Yes.
can. You gotta put food on the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
But whatever you can scale back in order to save money, that's huge. Now, what I want to address here is when you're scaling back. And by the way, hi Naomi, our regular, and Anahi's on with us. Hey, love Anahi. And who else is? Oh, that's just it. That looks like it's the two of them.
No.
Let's see. That's right. Naomi said, "Yes, Queen Goddess." So anyway, so how do we scale back and still have prosperity consciousness? And it's all in how we frame it. I often say, if you go to the grocery market, and it's all about what brings us the most joy. That's the hallmark of what I emphasize in my teaching and my coaching. And so if you go to the market and you see okay, so the brand, the Del Monte brand of peas, is whatever, $3, and the generic brand is $1.50. Now if you decide to buy the generic brand because you feel you don't have enough, then that's not prosperity consciousness. If you just decide it's going to bring me more joy at this point to buy that generic brand because I'm, in a way, since I'm not spending that money, I'm actually just increasing my prosperity by $1.50, right? So that's very different than saying, oh, I can't afford this other thing that I want, right?
If it's the same, it's apples to apples. You're comparing apples to apples.
Right.
I went to the store the other, and there's warehouses. There's a brand new grocery outlet. The produce are a little bit riper than at Sprouts or
Because
at Vons.
and usually in these places they're fresher.
Or 99-cent store.
Right, they're actually grown. They're grown locally, and the supermarket doesn't want it because it's got a blemish on it or it's too ripe. It's not going to sit on the shelf and last long enough.
If you're gonna make dinner with that food, with those groceries that day, it's a perfectly great way to save money. Everything is more expensive at the store. I notice the prices go up, and if I can choose one or another, we are gluten intolerant, so we don't have a lot of choice on bread and on different things that we like to eat.
What'd you say? It's $100 a loaf of bread? Or
$10.99 I pay for a loaf of freaking bread because it's gluten free, and it's just amazing. But Costco, the membership there, it's worth it. You buy in bulk, and you have enough for a month. You spend a little money when you go, spend $200-300, but it'll last me for 2 months or 3 months.
And here's another way I look at framing things in the positive way is, when the economy is good and our investments are doing great, then and cash flow is good, then I'm serving the economy by spending money, right? Because that's what makes a strong economy. Right now, one thing I thought about, and part of this was because you were so concerned about the finance, I thought, okay, well, to make you happy, I'm going to start spending less. So I've been looking at this kind of stuff. But when we have inflation,
Yes.
part of what brings inflation down is when people start spending less. So, it's this whole balance.
Yes,
It's this whole balance between, supporting the economy, but you don't want to, if everyone went down to spending nothing, okay, the economy would collapse. We got to buy our essentials, right?
Right.
But if we're looking to save money, then and we're spending less and we're buying less of the the popular brands, and we're
Stuff that you don't need. Do you
Then-
really need to go out and buy another set of shoes, another shirt? And I always I love going to the stores and looking at brand new stuff, and they're beautiful. Jesus, a dress is $300. I can go to a state sale and buy one for $20. Brand new, not new, but a great tag name, and it looks great.
I should tell that story about our. I'll get to that in a minute.
Yes.
But so
Stop buying stuff that you don't need.
there you go. And again, not because you can't afford it, right? But because not only are you helping your own finances, but you're actually helping
The economy.
Yes,
Yes.
the national economy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and here's the thing that I thought about this morning when I was thinking about this, is when we're doing something for our own benefit, then we have, the energy of our own soul behind it. When we're doing something for the benefit of all, as I talk about in my book, The Magic of the Soul, then we have the energy of the collective soul, of the whole universe, because we're doing it for the benefit of everyone, for the one. And so we have the energy and the inspiration and the creativity of a much greater, body of energy and consciousness. So, so you can tie into that as well. I'm helping the economy. I'm helping bring inflation down by spending less right now. That makes you a hero. So I'll tell you that story about the dress. So, so we were invited to participate in a national conference for Centers for Spiritual Living at Seaside. It was going to be it was before COVID,
Oh, yeah,
COVID, but it
yes.
was virtual. It was our first virtual conference, and we did in 3 different cities. And the last city was down at Seaside in Encinitas. And so when we were brainstorming about it with a bunch of other ministers, Reverend Christensen said, well, it's going to be in March. It's like, the awards season.
The awards.
Let's do a red carpet. So we did a red carpet. So some of us wore tux, and she didn't want to go. She didn't feel like going to this event. And
I didn't have a thing to wear.
and as we got close, she started feeling sorry for me because I said, I can't go to an event in a tux alone, right? Got to have my trophy wife next to me. So I don't use that term usually.
I am
And
not a trophy.
she doesn't like it.
No.
But and she said, well, okay, if I can find something that I can wear, then I'll go. So we went to this. I think it was a Latina like wedding gown place. We were looking at different bridesmaids things, and I thought they looked horrible. But if you, I wasn't going to say that because I wanted you to come. So.
But they were $500 dresses.
I don't remember, but
whatever.
So anyway,
Really
the
expensive
night
dresses.
before we're leaving, I'm looking for my shoes, which I had in my car for another event, my black shoes that would go with my tux. And I'm looking in my closet, in the bottom of the closet, underneath all my other shoes, I pull out this dress, and I look at it, and it's a brand new
With a tag.
labeled dress, and she wore it, and let's see, where can you see this? I don't have it posted. Oh yeah, it's on my Facebook. Is that my profile? No,
I don't know.
no, it's not on there. I brought this up once before, and I said I'd post it on the in the comments. Somebody says, "Where's that dress?" So I'll post a picture of that. And she was definitely the hottest looking lady at this event. In fact, she was one of the people, greeting people because Reverend Christian Sorensen said that he said, we want some like models out there, and I guess you're going to try to get some models, and they didn't. And I said, here's your model.
Well, that teaches you. I think I paid $20.
$1 you told me you
I don't
paid for
remember
that.
how much I
And it was
paid
sitting
for
at the bottom of the closet.
I hadn't even tried it on probably. I go to the estate sales, I see what's on, and if I look at the size, and I think it might fit me. You can't try things on there. You just have to buy them as is, and then I'll decide whether I can wear them or not.
So I want to address one more thing, just about income and people. There's didn't Amazon just lay off a whole bunch of people? People are getting laid off, and to be creative about income. I have someone was saying the other day, if maybe I'll have to get a job, and yet she has a service that she does that brings in potentially $50 or more an hour, and so we just looked at ways to do that, right?
Yeah.
So what can you do creatively that would be more than what you're going to get paid per hour, at some job that's below the value that you deserve, right? And one extreme example is I was playing tennis. I don't know, this might have been a year ago or so, and this guy. I don't want to give the whole long story, but I'll make it as brief as I can. He was helping. So I've seen this guy around the park before, and I knew he was homeless. And there's someone who obviously had mental illness that was screaming, and he was like coaching her. He was sitting on the bench next to the tennis court, and I hear him coaching her and calming her down. Mm-hmm. And then like she leaves, and then he's shooting baskets out there next to the basketball court where I sometimes shoot baskets, and I hear him say, "I love my life." And so when I finished playing tennis, that was just me against a ball machine. I went out and I said it, and I started shooting baskets with him, and we're talking. And I said, "So are you homeless?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm homeless for so long." That was after we had a bit of a conversation. And he said, "But I bring in about $300 a week by finding recyclables, right? Just going around looking. I've seen him do it in the trash cans, and the guy was clean and he looked good. He's one of these homeless people who's very functional, and he's bringing in $300 a week, right?" And he talked about his marriage ending and how that's how he ended up homeless and such, and so I'm sure there's he's got some things he's dealing with. And yet he was finding a way to survive, right? So that's an example.
There's always work here. There's plenty of work out there. I had to clean houses. I was a babysitter. I walked dogs. I did all the jobs that American people think that we're stealing, that they don't want to do. There are jobs here. You got to go out and get those jobs.
Or create them for yourself.
Or create them for yourself. But I mean, if you clean houses on your own, or babysit a child, or take care of an older person,
And it's good money. If you just go
good
ahead and
money.
Google search what it costs to have someone come clean your house,
Yes.
people get paid good money. And oftentimes that's through a
Absolutely.
company. And so they've got their overhead and they've got, management takes a piece. And so for people to do it entrepreneurially, they make a lot more money because they don't have all that overhead.
Right.
So just some examples. We talked about your brother last time, who always finds a way, right? He's done everything from, he used to be a contractor, or worked for big contracting projects, and then he was doing his own moving business, and
On
now
the
he's-
side, he has his own job, and on the side, he decides, it's the pandemic. People need freezers. He started buying older freezers, cleaned them up, fixed them up, sold them for 5 times, 10 times as much. They're big items. People don't want to lift those kinds of things. Refrigerators, anything that has to do with that kind of stuff, he'll do it. He's breeding a dog.
Started breeding dogs.
I don't think he meant to do that, but this dog is
No, I
a
think
champion.
he did that purposely.
You think so? I don't know.
Yeah, I remember.
But anyways, he makes pretty good money. This is a champion line dog, and little things that you can do.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Even if you are working a 9 to 5, you can do other things. And
yes.
just get creative. And again, get your consciousness up there in positivity. And I think we'll do another session. You can find them in our past videos on the pivoting process, but we'll do another one just to keep it fresh, maybe next week, to really help people to get that consciousness up. Because the thing is, when we're in problem mode, and let me put this succinctly, what I see happening for people is when we're below 50% focused on what we want, focused on the positive, and we're in problem mode, we can't see the same possibilities that we can see when we're above 50%. And you see more possibilities at 60% than you can see at 40%, let alone 3%, right?
Right.
And the higher the percentage goes, the more possibilities, the more creativity that comes through, because now you're in solution mode. So get your positivity up. Say affirmations.
Tell yourself, look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Hey, you."
And if you want, hit us up. I'll send you the log sheet for measuring your consciousness and give you a little description
And you're
about
going to
that.
put that photograph, aren't
Yes,
you?
I will. That always gets a lot of. It's good promotion. So I think that's about it for today. We love you guys, and
Keep
if
your
you are
chin up.
struggling,
Yes.
everything turns around. Everything goes in cycles. What I kept telling you is
Yes.
when you're getting concerned about our investments is that, hey, as long
And you know what?
what
It's all an illusion, isn't it?
It's an
That's what
illusion.
I've been telling myself. Money is just an illusion. I don't need the money right now.
that's right.
It's sitting somewhere. It's going to get higher. So what?
And that reminds me,
Yes.
I've been thinking about what course I'm going to do next. I haven't taught a
Yes.
course in over a year or close to a year, and I thought about doing the power of now. Great book, but I think I'm toying with the idea of doing Busting Loose again, which you always say do something new. But given this where we're at, I think that's what people need. People who have never done that class with us before.
Or if you have, you need a refresher.
Right, exactly. Because every time I teach it or read this book, my consciousness gets higher. Busting Loose from the Money Game is the name of the book. Get it, start reading it. If you send me a comment, I can send you a free download of the book, just if you want to try it out if you've never read it. And we can send you other information about the pivoting process. So
The power of now will be nice too.
yeah, that would be nice.
That's the next one.
I'll do it after that.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
It's a deal.
Okay.
Shake on it.
Okay.
All right, everyone. We love you guys, and it's going to get better. Trust that. Trust. I love the word trust. The opposite of anxiety and fear is trust. Let's be in trust today. Let's be in trust tomorrow. Let's keep the trust train moving, right? Ooh, I like that.
All
Trust
right.
train. All right.
All right.
Take care, everyone. See you next
Take
week.
care.